We chose Hawkeye because we were already most familiar with the Avengers and decided that he has the most room for improvement. Our goal was to improve Hawkeye's utility within the Avengers and further solidify his role as a contributing member of the crime-fighting unit. We felt that Hawkeye's skills and abilities were up to par, but that his choice of weaponry left him with a limited usefulness during extended fight sequences.
We saw a few possible solutions to these problems, one of which involved reviving the Sky Cycle, a snowmobile-like hover bike seen in most of Hawkeye's comic iterations. One idea was to incorporate the Red Infinity Gem, as seen in other installations in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so that the Sky Cycle could teleport arrows back into Hawkeye's quiver. We thought that this idea, while pretty cool, was likely impractical for a number of reasons, including the fact Hawkeye is not always on his Sky Cycle. Also, giving him one of the Infinity Stones would be putting too much power into the hands of one man.
Our other iteration involved adding turrets to the Sky Cycle, but we felt that this altered his nature as well, because Hawkeye doesn't use guns. Next, we tried to address the source of the problem rather than the symptoms. We wanted to create a way for his arrows to return to the quiver after they had been fired that didn't require the use of one of the most powerful artifacts in the universe. Our first idea was to make Hawkeye a bunch of arrows out of microbot-type objects, as exemplified in the movie Big Hero 6. Our thought was that the arrow could be comprised of the microbots, be shot, and then upon piercing the enemy, would break down and return to the quiver. A variation of this idea included microbots with a mini GPS system in each bit to allow them to return to the quiver. We decided that it would be too difficult to implement this technology in a realistic manner.
So finally, we came up with an idea to allow for an infinite number of arrows. Our concept is, simply put, a bow that shoots lasers in place of arrows. A small computer located on the bowstring calculates the force with which Hawkeye draws the bow, factoring in wind resistance and other variables. It then fires a laser with appropriate force. Initially, we wanted the bow to be solar-powered, but quickly realized that this would render him useless in caves or at night. In addition, it was not the most aesthetically pleasing design. We decided a better solution would be a powerful battery pack, which Hawkeye could switch out at will, because we felt that it would be significantly easier for Hawkeye to carry around a large number of battery packs as opposed to carrying a large number of arrows.
Our primary research subject, a lifelong fan of comics with a particular passion for the Avengers, emphasized the fact that Hawkeye is just an ordinary guy who is really skilled with a bow, which makes his lack of superpowers his biggest weakness. When his archery skills fail him, he must rely on his wits. Our secondary research led us to internet forums, fan sites, and wiki pages. These less official but nonetheless valid sources tended to be in agreement with our primary source. People thought he was lame because what is he going to do when he runs out of arrows? Sentiments such as these are bad for Hawkeye's reputation amongst fans. So, we gathered that Hawkeye's biggest flaw is the fact that he can only hold so many arrows. Superpowers would have been a quick fix, but would have changed his nature entirely. Therefore, we needed to find a way to give Hawkeye a nearly unlimited supply of ammunition, and the result was the laser bow.
Our product targets, pun intended, the teenager and young adult movie viewers, which includes comic readers and other more traditional fans, under the assumption that these are the most typical members of the fan base. To test our product, we showed users a sequence of sketches which served as the prototype. First, we consulted with our primary source once again. We showed her the laser bow idea, briefly explaining the concept and asked what she thought. Her immediate reaction, however, was, well, how does he not blow his hand off? She suggested that since actual archers generally have some sort of wrist guard to protect their hand and wrist from the arrows, why not give him some sort of special laser-proof glove? We took this idea and iterated on it to make it not only laser-proof, but fashionable, and with the addition of fingerprint detecting technology so only Hawkeye can use it. Our other two subjects liked the idea but wondered why we couldn't just give Hawkeye a gun. After explaining to them the basis of the project, they were in agreement that it was a reasonable solution to improve his character without intrinsically altering him.
Our technical strategy is to introduce the laser bow with the assistance of Tony Stark as the lead designer of the project. This seems like a logical way that Hawkeye could acquire this new technologically advanced upgrade. We hope to unveil this design with the release of the third Avengers movie. This would add to the hype value and would be better showcased in a movie with the opportunity for special effects work. We feel that implementing this design into the comics would not be maximizing its potential. This also allows for time for the software development team to work out the kinks and minor details as Marvel plans the future of their series. We feel that this change will help solidify Hawkeye's role within the Avengers as an interesting and useful character.